Hello everyone. So today we're learning fraction of a whole. Remember, a whole is something that is complete, right? Something that is full, total, complete. So I'm going to use an analogy first of all. I have two methods to show you, two tricks that will help you remember how to solve your answers very fast. But first, let me show you an analogy. The first question here is 2/5 of 10. So let's say we have 10 things, 10 cupcakes, for example. I'm gonna draw 10 whole cupcakes. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my cupcakes are just so funny. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this is 10 whole cupcakes, right? That's the total number of cupcakes we have. And the question says 2/5 of this. What is 2/5 of 10? It means we're going to split these 10 cupcakes into 5 equal groups or 5 equal parts. Remember, the total number always stays at the bottom, right? The total number is always at the denominator. So let's split these 10 cupcakes into 5 equal groups. I'm going to go with the brown color. So we have one group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, and 5 groups. So now they are equal because each group has 2 cupcakes in it, right? That makes an equal number of groups. And then 2/5 means 2 out of 5 groups. So it has 5 groups. Pick 2 out of these 5 groups. Let's pick 2 groups. I'm going to use the blue to shade the 2. I'm going to pick 2 groups. I've picked 1 group, pick another one, and 2 groups, right? So if we pick 2 groups out of these 5 groups, how many cupcakes do we have? The answer is going to be 4. Good. So I'm going to show you other methods to prove this answer because you can't always draw in class or something, especially when you have a test to write. You might not have the opportunity to be drawing this or something, but I just needed to make you have a mental picture of how this works. So now I'm going to show you the first method. 2/5 of 10 means it can be re-expressed as 2/5 times 10 because of usually depicts times in mathematics, usually. So 2/5 times 10 is another way of writing of. So what I did is I simply changed of to times, right? And now the next step is to swap the denominator. Okay, so I'm just going to swap. Instead of putting 5 here, I'm going to switch it over to 10. So it becomes 10/5 instead. And then if we continue that way, we know that 10/5 is going to make 2, right? If you look at 10/5, that makes 2. So that means 2/10/5 is the same as, 2 times 10/5 is the same as 2 times 2 because 10/5 is 2. And then finally, your answer is going to be equal to 4. Yay, that's how we got our final answer. All right, that's the first step. So what we did was to swap. I just swapped the denominator and I changed it over here and then I divided it and then I got my final answer. Let me try the next method, which is whole multiplication. So 2/5, this is another method, times 10. Remember, we only turned the of to times, right? 2/5 times 10. I'm going to put an imaginary 1 at the bottom. Why am I doing that? Because 10 divided by 1 is the same as 10. So if I put a 1 at the bottom, that does not change the value of the 10. It's still 10 because 10 divided by 1 is the same as 10. So that's why I'm putting an imaginary 1 so that we can do a fair multiplication. And when you're multiplying fraction, we should always do numerator times numerator and then denominator times denominator. So go ahead. 2 times 10 is 20. And 5 times 1 is 5. And if we finally divide that, that gives us 4. So you see that we got the same answer. We've used different methods and we still got the same answer. So you can pick any one that you will remember better. and which one seems easier for you to do. All right, let's try out number 2. You can pause the video and try to do number 2 on your own and see if you will get it right. Okay, so let's do number 2. Let me use the analogy again for number 2. That 4/7 of 35 means I'm going to split 35 into groups of 7, into 7 groups. And then I'll pick 4 out of it. Okay, so it doesn't mean that I'm going to split 35 in 7, 7, 7. It means I'm splitting 35 in 7 groups. So I know that 35 divided by 7 is 5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means there's going to be 5 in each group. And I'm looking for 7 groups, right? I'm going to keep drawing 35 cupcakes. That's 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah. So now we have 7 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 groups of 5 cupcakes, right? Now we're going to pick 4 out of those 7. Pick 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you do that in total, how many cupcakes would you get in these 4 groups? So from these 4 groups, we'll notice that we're able to get 20 cupcakes. So the answer should be 20. Now let's use other methods to calculate and see. Using the 3 other methods now. The first one we did was to swap. The first method was swapping the denominator, right? We know that 4/7 times 35. Remember, we changed off to times. Change off to times, and then swap the denominator. That leaves us with 4 times 35/7. And then if you finally do that, we know that 35/7 is 5, right? So 35/7 is 5. I'm going to be replacing that. And of course, your answer is going to be 20. Yay! You were correct right here. All right, next step, the next method was we created a fair, we did fair multiplication, right? We did 4/7 times 35 over, we put an imaginary 1, right? Because 35 divided by 1 is the same as 35. So just imagine there's a 1 right there at the bottom. And I'm going to multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. For this method, it's very important that you know how to multiply fractions. If you don't remember, you could go back to my previous videos. I've posted about multiplying fractions before. So 4 times 35 is 140. And then 7 times 1 is 7. And of course, if you divide 140 by 7, your answer is also going to be 20. So you see that either of these ways will make your answer right. So 4/5 of 35 means 7. It means that if you split 35 into 7 equal groups, right, you're going to, and you pick 4 out of those 7 groups, you have 20. Okay, so that's it for fraction of a whole number. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye for now. Do not forget to like, share, comment. I want to see your engagement in the comment section. Yeah, thank you.